his lawyers, and he has negotiated a deal with the Indian investigating agencies and obviously the Indian state. He has been given his prime accused, one of the key accused, one of the main accused who's been charged with conducting the recce of all the spots in which finally the massacres were carried out. Now, he has been given a pardon by the Indian courts. And क्या डील स्ट्राइक हुई है ये बहुत ऑब्वियस है हम लोगों के सामने, क्योंकि जब डेविड हेडली का क्रॉस एग्जामिनेशन उज्ज्वल निकम करते हैं, उज्ज्वल निकम जो कि सब जानते हैं कि जिन्होंने झूठ बोला कि अजमल का साहब बिरयानी मांग रहा था ताकि वो उसके खिलाफ एक सेंटिमेंट विप अप कर सकें, तो एक झूठा प्रोसिक्यूटर एक डबल ट्रिपल क्वाड्रिपल एजेंट जो है उससे क्रॉस एग्जामिनेशन करता है और सवाल 2611 के बारे में नहीं पूछता, सवाल जो उनकी कस्टडी में जो अक्यूज्ड हैं अबू जिंदाल उसके बारे में नहीं पूछता, वो सवाल पूछता है कि क्या आप जानते हैं कि लश्कर में कोई विमेन सुइसाइड बॉम्बर थी कि नहीं, क्या आप जानते हैं उनका कोई विमेन्स विंग था कि नहीं, और ये कि मल्टीपल चॉइस क्वेश्चनिंग आंसरिंग वहाँ चल रही है। अच्छा मैं 3 चॉइस देता हूँ, इसमें से कोई था क्या, कोई बॉट स्टॉप ऑपरेशन हुआ था? तो ये 2004 में इशरत की हत्या हुई, 2008 में 26/11 हुआ और 2016 और 15 में आप क्यों इशरत की किलिंग के बारे में पूछ रहे हो? ये साफ है क्योंकि इफ यू लुक एट द CBI's चार्ज शीट अगेन, there are 164 statements of various police officers which say A, that senior IG officer Rajinder Kumar was involved in procuring the weapons which were then planted on the bodies of Ishrat and Javed Sheikh and others. There is also a 164 statement by a retired deputy SP Goswami, who clearly says that in a meeting where Singhal and Mandara were present, both now out as heroes, that there was talk about express orders from Kali Dadi and Safed Dadi. So this is a very cynical sort of, commitment to national security even. यहाँ पे मालेगांव में, because you know that the links are too clear, there are photographs of Pragya all over the place with Rajnath Singh and with others and so on, and the fact that there is mention of Mohan Bhagwat himself being in a meeting and giving a go-ahead to Asim Anand, and of course so you have to save the topmost of both the Sangh and the BJP. The last point is, and I concur with Hartosh here, the problem is not simply the falling of this case or that case. We've seen enough cases where फर्जी केसेस में कन्विक्शन भी हो जाता है, हम भी जानते हैं। बहुत सारे जजेस बोलते हैं कि भाई एविडेंस तो कुछ नहीं है लेकिन ठीक है, सिमी इतना भयानक संगठन है तो चलो सजा दे देते हैं। ये बहुत केसेस में होता है, it's not a new thing, it happens all the time। फर्जी मामलों में इनोसेंट कन्विक्ट हो जाते हैं, कई गुनहगार छूट जाते हैं। अमित शाह डिस्चार्ज हो गए हैं ऑलरेडी केस से एट एन अर्ली स्टेज। जो भी थोड़ा क्रिमिनल लॉ जानते हैं वो जानते हैं कि इस अर्ली स्टेज में डिस्चार्ज मिलना कितना मुश्किल काम है। मतलब बहुत रेयर होता है कि इतनी अर्ली स्टेज में डिस्चार्ज किसी को हो जाए, लेकिन CBI स्पेशल कोर्ट ने सोचा अपने विजडम में फाउंड दैट there were not sufficient grounds to proceed against Amit Shah despite there being a lot of evidence including phone call records etc between the officers who were at the site of the encounter and between Amit Shah at that time and so on. So this happens, but what is frightening is that this is not, till yesterday perhaps people like Asim Anand and Colonel Purahet and Safi Pragya were some secret cabal, some secret group conspiring in secret locations in the jungles of Dangs or in that farmhouse in Faridabad or whatever. What is frightening is that these sort of politics and this sort of ideology and this sort of cynical use, and those who are ready to use this national security ploy for their own cynical ends have now come to power. And it is at the topmost level that we are seeing the unfolding of this. Indiresh has been named, he's not been charged again, the whole point that, itni aasani se in logon ko फंसा दिया, anybody who knows any politics or any terror cases knows very well that it's not so easy to just pick up somebody from the army or from the Sangh Parivar and frame them. ये कोई बटला उसके मुसलमान नहीं है कि पकड़ के डाल दो और कोई सवाल पूछने वाला नहीं है इनका. तो you have somebody like Indresh, who's the topmost leader of the Sangh, who has been named in Asim Anand's 164 CRPC statement. He's been called twice by once by the CBI, one in the Hyderabad Makkah Masjid blast case, and by the NIA in the Samjhauta case for questioning. And here is a man who is holding iftar parties in Parliament Annex building. Can you imagine a Muslim who's been named in any terror investigation to be allowed to go anywhere near the Parliament? हाँ, अभी रमज़ान शुरू होने वाला है, ज़रूर इंद्रेश साहब फिर से इफ्तार पार्टी थ्रो करेंगे. और it's also, I mean, if you look at the Asim Anand statement, it says that Sunil Joshi had told that Indresh आप जानते हैं कि मुस्लिम राष्ट्रीय मंच के पैटर्न हैं. मुस्लिम राष्ट्रीय मंच मतलब जो मुसलमानों को इंडियनाइज करने की मुहिम में लगा हुआ है, कैसे उनको मोहन भगवत जब निकलते हैं तो उनके ऊपर फूल बरसाते हैं और इस तरह के काम करते हैं, इंडियनाइज हो जाते हैं. तो मुस्लिम राष्ट्र मंच के पैटर्न हैं. और असीम आनंद के स्टेटमेंट के हिसाब से इंद्रेश ने सुनील जोशी को 2 मुस्लिम लड़के प्रोवाइड किए थे अजमेर शरीफ में बॉम्बिंग के लिए. So I mean, these are the fact that Sunil Joshi murder inquiry has run aground. It is at a dead end. Motasa is at a dead end, and these will all probably end up in the cold storage as well. The chance of uncovering the wide conspiracy between the deep Indians, the state, between, we know that Muslim military school has been sending recruits to the army for a long time. So, I mean, Purohit may not be the only one, we don't know. And so this whole network which could have been unearthed, of course, will now remain in the dark shadows. But as Hartosh said earlier, what is most frightening is the fact that there is systematic abuse of institutions, and in fact, Modi may stay or go, we don't know 3 years later what happens, but by that time, I think our institutions would be so destroyed beyond recognition that it will be a long time, it will take us a long time to recover those.